All right, let's get right into it. Today we're going to unpack a word you probably hear thrown around a lot, devolution. But what does it actually mean for you, for your street, for your community? We're going to break down exactly how your local government is put together, and more importantly, where the power really lies.
Really stop and think about it for a second. Who's making the calls on the services you and your family use every single day? Well, the answer lies in this system called devolved government, and its whole purpose is to bring that decision-making power as close to your doorstep as possible.
So, let's kick things off with the big idea behind all of this. What's the core principle that really drives this whole system of local government?
At its heart, devolution is really just about one thing: decentralization. It's the official process of taking powers and responsibilities that used to be handled by the national government and handing them down to county governments and even to levels below that. The goal here is simple: to make the government that serves you more accessible and way more responsive.
Probably the easiest way to wrap your head around all this is to think of it like we're using a map. We're going to start with a wide, bird's-eye view of an entire county, and then we're going to zoom in, level by level, until we get all the way down to a single village. So let's do just that.
Okay, our first stop is the big picture, the county government. You can think of this as the main engine of service delivery in this whole devolved system. So what exactly is it responsible for?
The number you need to remember here is 14. That's right, the Constitution gives every single county government the primary responsibility for 14 core areas of service. And believe me, these aren't small things. We're talking about the absolute bedrock of our daily lives.
So, what's in the mix? Well, let's start with the things that directly affect your health and your environment. You've got agriculture, so supporting local farmers and making sure there's food on the table. You've got county health services, like your local clinic, and it even covers things you might not think about every day, like controlling noise pollution and promoting local cultural events. Next up are the functions that literally shape how your community grows and gets around. This is stuff like county transport. Think about the local roads you drive on every day. It also includes regulating local trade to help small businesses succeed, and, of course, overseeing the county planning that decides what your community is going to look like in the future.
And finally, you have those absolutely essential public services that keep everything running and, keep you safe. Your county is in charge of pre-primary education, taking care of public works, and, crucially, providing emergency services like firefighting and disaster management. As you can tell, it's a massive portfolio of responsibilities.
Okay, so we've covered the what. Now let's zoom in a bit and look at the how. How are the different areas inside a county actually governed? Let's start with our cities and towns.
So what makes a city, well, a city? A huge part of it comes down to population. To even be considered for city status, an area needs to have at least 500,000 people living there. That sense of scale is totally key to how different urban areas are classified. And as you can see here, the differences are laid out pretty clearly. A city needs that 500,000 population, a municipality needs 250,000, and a town just needs 10,000. But it's not just about how many people live there. A city has to prove it's been well managed, a municipality has to show it can actually deliver services, and a town needs to be economically viable. Each tier has its own unique set of standards.
Their governing structures are different too. Cities and municipalities are run by these formal boards, which act as corporate bodies, meaning they can make legally binding decisions. Towns, on the other hand, are looked after by committees, which have a slightly different, more advisory role in overseeing local services.
All right, we've talked about the bustling urban centers. Now let's zoom in one more time to the areas outside of the cities and towns. How are the more rural parts of a county actually managed?
This right here is the basic structure. It's a really clear hierarchy that's designed to bring the administration as close to the people as humanly possible. So at the top, you have the sub-county. That's broken down into wards, and then the wards are made up of individual villages.
This setup creates a very straightforward chain of command. It's simple. The village administrator is on the ground, and they report up to the ward administrator. The ward administrator reports up to the sub-county administrator, who then connects that whole structure back to the county's top leadership. It's all designed for clear communication and accountability.
And here we are at the most local level you can get, the village council. This is where community representation is about as direct as it gets. It actually includes village elders, people from the community itself, who have a formal role right alongside the administrator. This is truly what grassroots governance looks like in action.
So we've zoomed all the way from the county level down to the village. What's the big takeaway here? Why does this whole structure even matter?
This quote really just says it all, doesn't it? The entire spirit, the whole point of devolution, is to push power and services downward, to bring them as close to you, the citizen, as they can possibly be.
And look, this isn't just some abstract theory. A perfect real-world example is the creation of citizen service centers. These are actual, physical, one-stop shops set up at the sub-county or ward level, so you don't have to travel for hours just to access the services you need. This is the system doing exactly what it was designed to do. So, there you have it. From the 14 core functions of your county to how cities and towns are run, all the way down to your local village council. This entire system is designed for you. The structure is there, so the only question left is, how are you going to engage with it to shape your community?